KHOU 11 News at 6 starts now.
Thanks for joining us on this digital newscast. We're streaming live now on KHOU 11 Plus. Tonight we continue our coverage on the tragic loss of Houston firefighter Marcelo Garcia, who died while in the line of duty on Wednesday.
Tributes continue to pour in for the fallen firefighter whose death has deeply impacted our community. Overnight, Houston's City Hall was lit up in red to honor Garcia. And right outside Fire Station 23, a memorial has been set up in his honor featuring flowers, photos, and flags flying at half staff. Tonight, the Houston Fire Department released funeral arrangements for Garcia. On Tuesday, there will be a public viewing from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Forest Park Lawndale Funeral Home. Then on Wednesday, a funeral service at 9 a.m. at KHOU Cathedral of Sacred Heart on St. Joseph Parkway. You can find more information on those services on our website.
And tonight, a woman is charged with setting the fire that led to the death of Houston firefighter Marcelo Garcia. A source close to the investigation tells KHOU Yesenia Mendez is in custody.
Fire investigators were back on the scene this morning. Our Katira Winfrey was there as crews set up a perimeter around the burned out warehouse.
Saturday morning, the Houston Fire Department announced first-degree arson charges against 38-year-old Yesenia Mendez, the woman now accused of starting a warehouse fire that led to the death of one of their own.
He was always ready to work, willing to help, always had a smile on his face.
Houston Fire Station 23 has some hard days ahead. Marcelo Garcia was the standard when it came to firefighters, the magnitude of the loss illustrated by the flowers and mementos left in his memory. He died when a wall collapsed inside this warehouse Wednesday night at the corner of 66th and Supply Row.
He was very positive about anything. You know, we're drenched in sweat and we're like, oh my God, it's going to be rough today. And it's okay, guys, man, we're going to be good. He always had a very good positive attitude no matter what.
Days after his death, fire crews and investigators returned to the scene, collecting pictures and added a gate around the perimeter. I spoke off camera to a man who lives nearby who says right after the fire, he saw investigators with guns swarm his neighborhood. He said those investigators told him they were looking for the woman who set this fire and took off through the woods. It's not clear how investigators were able to track her down to name her as a suspect, but a business nearby said they shared what surveillance video they have with investigators. Reporting in Houston, Katira Winfrey, KHOU 11 News.
Katira, thank you. This is a story we will continue to follow closely. You can find our full coverage on our website, KHOU.com.
New at 6 tonight, a man is in custody after police say he shot and killed another man outside his apartment complex. It happened around 10:30 this morning at a complex off Westheimer and Hillcroft Avenue in West Houston. Part of the incident was captured on surveillance video. KHOU 11 has blurred the faces of the men because HPD has not identified them, and so far, no charges have been filed. At one point, a man in a hat runs into view as the other man backs away and pulls out what appears to be a gun. Later, the man in the hat appears to pick up something off the ground and again moves towards the other man. We've frozen the video right here just before hearing 3 gunshots. That man who was shot would run off camera. Houston police tell us he later died at a hospital. The alleged shooter stayed behind at the scene and is cooperating with investigators. It's not clear what started that altercation.
New overnight, a chaotic scene off Laura Cobby in Northeast Houston after police say a person was possibly injured in a shooting. This just 3 weeks after 3 people were charged with capital murder following a drive-by shooting on the same road. In that shooting in September, 3 people were killed and 8 others were injured. A witness last night says they were shocked to hear gunfire in that area again.
We just didn't imagine it happening so soon again. So it was scary. I was just on like my 5th little beer or whatever, but we enjoying ourselves, enjoying life, and this what happened.
Police tell us the person who was hurt is recovering in the hospital. This evening, Houston police are searching for an alleged shooter who they say got away on a bike wearing flip-flops. It happened around 10 last night. Investigators say the victim, a 67-year-old man, was shot in the leg while sitting behind a store off Martin Luther King in Southeast Houston.
He rides up, shoots our complainant in the leg, and then rides away. Our complainant doesn't seem to know who he is or why he would have shot him.
Police say they have video of the suspect, but right now they are not releasing it to the public.
Let's jump outside now and talk weather. You're taking a live look over Houston on what was a beautiful sunny day in November. It was a gorgeous Saturday out there. Meteorologist Pat Cavlin joins us now.
Yeah, Pat, what's the rest of this weekend looking like?
Yeah, for once, the weather was like just perfect for a weekend. Tomorrow looks pretty nice as well. A live look again over downtown. 83 the high temperature in the books today. So, still well above where we should be this time of year. We should be waking up to temperatures in the low 50s and only making it to the mid 70s. Instead, we're in the 60s and 80s. Not a huge complaint. At least it's better than where we were earlier this week. But we could definitely work on this if you're looking for some fall weather. Sunset tonight was at 5:28, getting earlier and earlier every night. 73 right now, College Station, 71 Brenham, 73 for Conroe, 78 Tomball. And then we're in the upper 70s here down towards the coast, 68 though in Cleveland. Humidity is kind of split across the area. To the west, it's really dry. And then across the city and points east, we've got a little more humidity in place. Notice the green there on the map that indicates some of that humid air and some of those moisture conditions. On radar, you can see, though, we are quiet for the most part. A couple showers trying to sneak in across Chambers County. But on the wider shot, this is where all the rain is right now, just getting slugged across Louisiana and parts of Mississippi. In fact, flood warnings and watches in effect for Louisiana, where this rain has been pretty much stationary, and it sits underneath this stationary boundary that is just to our east, and that puts us on the dry side of things for the most part. So through the overnight, we'll see a few clouds. It's a little bit milder than last night. Temperatures should stay in the upper 60s. Getting into tomorrow, we're still close enough to that boundary that we can't rule out a shower chance east of the city, but I think for the most part, it's just a mix of sun and clouds with more sunshine and lower humidity the farther west you go. And then finally, we get a kick to this front on Monday, and that will push things to the south. And as that goes south, we get tons of sunshine for Monday. It'll be warm, and the humidity comes down as well. The green here indicates the humidity. Watch as we get into Monday, that all melts away to the south. So humidity stays low as we get into the start of the week. It's going to be a day very similar to how this afternoon ended up. So Monday and Tuesday looking like two gorgeous days across the area. In the tropics, we're still watching the latest here on Tropical Storm Rafael. Winds at 50 miles per hour. Watch what it does here. A little loop-de-loop on itself and then goes down towards the Bay of Campeche and kind of falls apart as we get into the upcoming week. So a pretty interesting track with this system, but again, no threat to us here in southeast Texas. Temperatures will stay above normal as we look ahead to the next 10 days. Low to mid 80s all the way through Wednesday. We will get a drop with a cold front by the end of the week. That'll bring us down to the upper 70s. Still above where we should be this time of year. Again, we should be in the mid 70s. But temperatures look to stay again above normal all the way into the start of the following week. So that begs the question, are we ever going to see fall weather again? Well, we have to look way down the road. So we're going to show you a long-range future track here for a potential pattern change. Notice all of the warm colors on here, of course, indicating warm weather. And that's not really going to go anywhere as we go through the next 5, 6, 7 days. Looking down the road, though, all the way towards November 19th, so we're looking 10 days into the future, notice a lot of cool air starts to build back across the West Coast. This cooler weather may become a little more common across the country as we get closer to Thanksgiving. No guarantees at this point, but it does look like our warm pattern will start to try and break down by the end of November. You got to wait till then, though, for any big shots of cool weather. Low 60s as you go north and west, and then we'll do low 70s south and east. We'll split the difference in the city at 68. For tomorrow, low 80s, I think, for everybody from the city down to the coast. It's a nice day. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds with, again, a shower chance as you go farther east. There's your 7-day forecast. 84 with lots of sunshine, no humidity for Monday. It's a beautiful day. Same deal for Tuesday. And then a weak front will come through late Wednesday, and that will knock the numbers down from the mid-80s to the upper 70s. But it's the overnight temperatures that'll see the biggest change. We go from the low 60s here Wednesday morning and Thursday morning to the mid and upper 50s by Friday and Saturday morning. So overall, guys, the weather picture looks a lot more comfortable for this week than it was last week with the high humidity. But again, no big fall or winter fronts on the horizon quite yet.
Looks beautiful compared to last week.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pat. Taking a look at some of today's other top stories now.
Tonight, the horror film community is mourning the loss of Tony Todd, who's best known for his iconic role in the classic horror film Candyman. Todd's wife, Fatima, told The Hollywood Reporter he died at his home in Marina del Rey, California, after battling a long illness. The actor leaves a lasting legacy in the film industry with memorable roles in the Final Destination franchise, The Crow, and Oscar-winning film Platoon. Tony Todd was 69 years old.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection has a warning about a telephone scam targeting people across the country. Victims report scammers are posing as U.S. Border Patrol agents and CBP officers, claiming that a shipment with the target's name and address has been intercepted and contains drugs. The scammer threatens that police will arrive if they don't comply. The CBP says they will never ask for money or personal information over the phone, and if you get a call like this, hang up immediately.
Across social media, many people are reporting their property tax statements in Harris County are running late. The Harris County Tax Assessor's Office says the holdup is because of the passage of Harris County's Flood Control District's proposition from Tuesday's ballot. According to the Assessor's Office, the measure needs to be certified by Harris County Commissioners Court during their meeting happening the week of the 18th. Once that's done, the tax rate becomes official and the documents, or the statements I should say, will be mailed out. This morning, more than 8,000 people joined in Houston's Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the largest walk in Southeast Texas, and I had the honor of emceeing for the second year in a row. Now, as many of you know, the fight against Alzheimer's is deeply personal to me. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's 19 months ago tomorrow. The Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest event and fundraiser in the mission to defeat this disease. More than $896,000 were raised by folks at the Houston Walk alone. And for the first time this year, KHOU 11 had a team fundraising, and I'm so happy to share we surpassed our station goal. Special thanks, of course, to my friends and family who joined me out there today, including my co-anchor and friend Cheryl Mercedes and our digital content producer Lupita Villarreal. By the way, all the money raised goes directly to help fund research, care, and support here in Houston and across the country.
We are just 24 hours away from Sunday Night Football. Here is a look over NRG Stadium where the Texans will face the Detroit Lions. Kickoff is scheduled for 7:20. And for those of you heading to tomorrow's game, be sure to dress for the weather because that roof will be open. And make sure to join us on Facebook and KHOU 11 Plus for our Texans post-game web stream where our sports team will break down the game. So you can also hear live post-game comments from the Texans there.
And that tailgating weather will be pretty good?
Yeah, it's going to be nice. Yeah, we got our Texans colors on also.
We absolutely do.
Red,
yes,
white,
he does.
Yeah, weather tomorrow looks great. We'll see sunshine again, maybe a shower east, but I think the stadium should be fine.
All right.
Great. That's our time for now. But remember, you can check us out anytime on KHOU.com and KHOU 11 Plus.
We're back on TV for KHOU 11 News at 10. See you then.